Alright, welcome to Hillbilly Adventures. I made it back from Axialfest 23, and man, what an amazing experience. It was different for me. This is me and the Dudes That RC's third time. We're going to be there in 24, and just for me, it was amazing. That's all I can say. So, I don't really get into my personal life very much on this channel. To be honest with you, I originally created this channel because of a lot of heartbreak in my life, and I needed a way of coping. Started out with, I built a RV out of an old Horizon van in a week. I took all the pain and I put it in my hands, and I just worked. That's all I could do to keep from losing my mind, to be honest. What you don't know about me, I raised a daughter and two nieces. All three have pretty much shunned me and my family because of our religious belief. We are Bible-believing Christians. Certain lifestyles we don't hate. We just simply don't agree with them, and we don't think that that is God's way for us. So my Christian morality has led me to be shunned by all the children that I have raised. And yeah. But I love my God more than anything, because it was Him who blessed me. It was Him that when two children didn't have a home, they were placed with me, and I did the best I could with what I had. I went without clothes. I sacrificed in order for them to have a good life, and I am proud of that, and I believe that I did everything that I could. Unfortunately, in these times, a lot of people who claim that they want tolerance want you to see it their way, or you're out the door. They don't want to have anything to do with you. Their word for tolerance is agree with me or else. And that's unfortunate, because I wasn't raised that way. I get along with everybody. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about your race. My father raised me to be a good man, and I treat everybody with respect, and I try to love everyone the best I can. I might not agree with you, but that doesn't mean I hate you. Not at all. On February 11th, I lost my dad. Sorry. He was my best friend. We spoke sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. He was a loving man. And there were so many people that come out that considered him their grandfather that I didn't even know. He was just that type of person. In our lives, we have people who were special. He was one of them. Prior to him, I lost my aunt. She was another special person. Never forgot my birthday. Never forgot Christmas. Yeah. I miss them both. My dad, years back, I'd say going on 3 or 4 years. I'm not good with dates and times. He had got to the point where he had decided that he was going to end his life. He put a gun to his head, and his grandkid walked in on him, and he didn't pull the trigger, thank God. He was put in a VA hospital for a while, and when he came out, him and my mother lived with me and my wife here for a few months, and then we found him a house. It's just down the road here in the country where I live. It's like maybe a mile and a half away, and he was so happy there. His neighbors were cows, and you know, he loved to go over there and feed them, and they would come up to the fence. And Mom and Dad was raising chickens, and they had a garden, and you know, he would just, every morning, he would go out and pray and lift his arms to heaven. Thank God. He had a stroke that was misdiagnosed. He couldn't urinate, and they put a catheter on him, gave him pain pills, and sent him back home. 24 hours later, we took him back to the emergency room. Come find out, he had had a stroke. It had paralyzed his throat. He wasn't able to speak, and what he was able to say every day was diminishing more and more. The hospital mistakenly gave us hope that he would survive. We thought he was going to come out of it, because I have a cousin who's had a stroke, and you know, he not that long ago, and he came out of it, and we thought our dad, he was a fighter, he was a veteran, and he was going to come out of it. Unfortunately, we found out later on, when he was moved to a different hospital, how severe the stroke was, and that this was the end. My dad was able to tell me that he loved me. That was our last conversation. Last he was able to speak. Oh, man, I'm sorry. After his suicide attempt, I had went to Axialfest for the first time, and I met Javier and some of the members at Operation 11 Charlie, and I learned what they were doing. And I basically took a page out of their playbook, and I got my dad into the RC hobby to give him something to do, because he'd gotten to a point in his life where I think he was feeling useless. He's always had survivor guilt. When he was drafted into the military, his friends didn't come back, and that's always been something that has bothered him, that survivor guilt. And I think that's on top of a lot of stress that he was experiencing living in a big town with crime all around and stuff. Just piled on to him. And that's why he tried to commit suicide. Which I'm telling you, if you knew the man, it was very unexpected. So I got my dad into RC. I built him a couple of vehicles. First, I built him an old square body Chevy, and he drove it around the yard a little bit. But in the military, he worked on tanks, and I knew he loved tanks. I mean, he knew so much about tanks, and he was always a firearms guy. So I went and I bought this. This was Dad's tank. And he loved this thing. Man, did he love this thing. He drove it a lot. This is my dad in his tank. So, I reached out to Javier and I told him, hey, my dad passed. He always wished he could have met you guys. He was subscribed to their YouTube, and he he hated technology, but he figured out Facebook and YouTube pretty quick. Sometimes he'd screw up his phone playing with Facebook, and me and my brother would have to fix it all the time. But he said he always wanted to meet those guys, and Javier did me and my family the honor of inducting him into their group. And that's, that's all I wanted. But in addition, they made me an honorary member, which I didn't expect. They even got me this bag back here, and Joe Ropes wrote, man, what a wonderful bunch of guys. And there was one of their members there, and I don't know the guy. And we were talking, and he had come to Axialfest, and he didn't have an Axial vehicle. And I was laying in bed. God told me. He said, this truck's his. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, I got a whole paycheck in this truck. And I said, maybe it's just, I feel bad because he didn't bring anything, and maybe it's not God. And then we were rock racing, and here he was standing by himself watching everybody. God told me again, that is his truck. He's got it right now. I gave it to him because that's what I was told to do. And and after I gave it to him, the poor guy didn't even get to run it. The motor burned up. He didn't even get to drive it. That killed me, man. But I went over there to their tent, and we worked together with some of their guys and got everything together, and he got to drive it. Felt good. I'm glad. That's why this year was an amazing Axialfest. I met so many good people along the way. You guys know who you are that ran with me, man. I know you guys don't know me. You don't know what led up to that trip. The very gun my dad tried to commit suicide with. Right before the trip. It's lost. It's gone. I don't know where it went. I have no idea. I've tore the house apart. In the wee hours of the night right before we left for Axialfest, trying to find that damn gun. And it ain't no good memories attached with it. It's not like a family heirloom. I have a lot of those that my daddy gave me and that were left to me when he passed. This was one, that he had bought from, I think, Rural King or something, and it was just a 9mm semi-automatic, and it just freaked me out. I have no idea where it's going. And my wife says it's here in this house somewhere. If it is still here and I find it, I'm selling it. There's just too much bad associated to it. And all that was piled up on me before I left. And it's a heavy burden, a lot of these things. And I haven't even gone into details of all the bad stuff. It's a lot. people that meet me, they don't know any of that, because I'm good at pushing the negative down, and I act a little crazy sometimes, and I like to joke around and stuff, and I like to lift other people up, because I know what it's like to be down. That's who I am. That's who my father raised me to be. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to everyone who showed me friendship and love. I'm grateful to y'all. Thank you so much. You've been a blessing. And next time I catch you on the trail, let's meet again. Let's have a good time, put all this bad stuff behind us. And in words of my father, just like I told Operation 11 Charlie, you guys get out there, y'all have fun, don't take no wooden nickels. Bye, y'all.